Hello and welcome to a different type of video because I'm covering a game that isn't actually sci-fi related whatsoever. Ravenfield, for those of you who already know, is a first-person shooter that pits two teams of sort of ink-filled soldiers against each other. The game was officially released on the 18th of May, which at time of recording is yesterday, transitioning from the Beta 5 demo to Early Access version 1. Now, a little warning for you guys, this is a review of the changes that were made to Beta 5, so this isn't a review of the entire game as such. It's more of an update review, really. So if you guys have not played the original demo, it's still up there, it's still available, the Beta 5 is still active. I still have it, actually, so I should probably get rid of that because that's wasted space. But links are in the description if you want to go and check that out. And then come on back to this video and I will show you what has changed. So with the Early Access version 1, multiple maps have been added, as well as the old ones have been improved. So for the Dust Bowl map, they have added 2 runways. We'll explain why later. So basically they've added run one way. They've added one runway where the blue side is and one runway where the red side is, so that both teams have equal access to vehicles. They've added a snowy mountaintop map called Temple, which is very nice. It's a bit smaller than some of the other maps, but because it's just endless white wasteland, you can't really tell. It does feel like a decent map. It's nicely sized. It's got plenty of ruins and stuff to duck and dive through. It's very 3D, you know, you have elevation changes, you have bridges, but then also you have like valleys underneath those bridges, so you can get sniped from above and below if you're not careful. They've added a work in progress map also. I say he, Steel Raven 7 has added a work in progress map, which is like an island within an aircraft carrier off the coast, and that is called Archipelago. In addition to the maps being changed, they've also added some permanent features which are actually useful. Instead of being just cosmetic, so they've added anti-aircraft guns that are placed near bases, and basically anything with any map with air vehicles in it, you'll find some anti-air guns dotted around. Not right on top of the bases, because they're meant to be like perimeter defences, but not in the middle of nowhere either. They've also added some heavy machine guns that have been dotted about to create kind of choke points in between the spawn points. Which can help. They can actually damage tanks, so they are anti-tank support if you've not equipped yourself with a rocket or a homing missile. So they're kind of making it a bit easier for you, so you can have more, more fun weapons and stuff. You can have grenades and health packs and stuff like that, and not have to worry about carrying a rocket with you, because these MGs and anti-aircraft guns can actually take out the vehicles for you. So it's nice that they've done that. It also means that the AI have more things to do instead of just run in front of your guns and get shot, which seems to happen an awful lot for me. Good thing it's not multiplayer, otherwise I would get kicked a lot. So, as part of the Early Access version 1 update, the character models have been completely overhauled. Now they have sort of tactical vests, helmets, proper boots and gloves and stuff like that. So the character models look a lot better, but they still have the same ragdolls and the same sort of inky blood spatters, which I think is really cool, because if there's a real high intensity zone of gunfire and stuff like that, you can tell because there's just blue and red ink everywhere. So it's good to know where the hotspots are. So it's like, okay, this is clearly like a choke point or whatever. We can use this to our advantage by placing certain defences. They have added a couple of new weapons. They've included like a silenced rifle called the Quicksilver. I mean, the whole thing looks like a giant silencer. It kind of looks like a Sten gun. Or was it a Bren gun? I don't know. Sten or Bren, either one of those. The thing with the magazine jutting out the side, which I don't personally like, and it doesn't do that much damage either, so it is quite a stealthy weapon, but I don't really like it personally. They've also added a Magnum-style revolver, so a 6-shot called the .357 Condor, which is very nice. It's like a compact sniper rifle without a scope, really. It's a one-shot. It's really good fun. other additions to the players is that, and the characters, I suppose, is that the AI now move in squads. So they support each other with different weapons. Like you'll have one member of the team who has a sniper rifle. You'll have one member of the team with a shotgun. You'll have one with his rocket out all the time in order to take out vehicles if they get ambushed or something. So it's really good. It makes finding just random stragglers across the map a lot less likely, so it makes it feel like there is a team working against you instead of just a bunch of bots swarming you, which I think is a very good addition. And the vehicle side of things, planes have been added with 2 large machine guns that can damage tanks and helicopters. You know, basically, tank is the thing with the heaviest armor. If you can damage a tank, you can damage everything underneath it. They can also damage the anti-aircraft posts and the machine guns. They are actual destructible things, and you can use a wrench to repair them the same way you can use a wrench to repair vehicles, which I think is very cool. Sort of Star Wars Battlefront style, where you could get a fusion cutter out and start repairing turrets and med bots and stuff. Landing is difficult for the planes because the wheels retract automatically after takeoff. You know, unlike the helicopter, where if you just kind of hover and then go down gently, you can actually land with minimal damage. This, you know, I have held the S key to slow down as much as possible, and nothing seems to work. So the only way I've found to actually stop is to crash land. And it's probably better that you crash land anyways, instead of actually try to land it, kind of thing, so that way you know, they can respawn back at base and your friendlies can hop in and fly around and support you later on. Jeeps have been equipped with all the heavy machine guns that are dotted around the map, so that they can be more effective troop transports and sort of mobile guns. So they do have infinite ammo and stuff like that. I remember in Battlefield 2, playing the campaign, Battlefield Bad Company 2 this is, I remember playing the campaign by myself, because that was the only way you could back then. And what I would do is I would, on the missions where you were solo, I would basically get in a Jeep in the driver's seat, approach a base at full speed, switch to the gunner's seat, and then strafe them as I coast through the base, and then switch back to my driver's seat and drive away and come around for another pass. You can't do that. I don't think you can change seats while you're actually driving in the vehicle. But maybe that's something for the future. I'm not sure. Maybe that's for the best, because it's not the most realistic thing to be doing. But then again, this is meant to be like a free version of, well, not free, but, you know, a cheap, easily accessible version of Battlefield. And Battlefield is just crazy fun as well. So multiple game modes have been added, along with the usual points mode. Battalions has been added, where teams have a certain amount of reinforcements that can be deployed, so kind of like the tickets. And the first team to run out wins. Capturing all the spawn points and preventing the enemy team from respawning is still an option for victory, but is now much harder to achieve because the AI is sort of more cohesive, and they will, if they're taking, you know, if they're losing spawn points, if they're down to one spawn point, they'll fall back to that spawn point, or they'll try to rush another one so that they can get back up to decent numbers. Spec Ops, which I am not showing gameplay of, is a work-in-progress mode where the player commands a small team and must take out an enemy team with no respawns provided to either force. Currently I don't like this mode because it sort of goes against the crazy mayhem that we're used to seeing in Ravenfield and Battlefield. So having 2 really small squads, especially on a map like Dust Bowl where it's huge, it doesn't really work for me. But I'm sure some people will like it. I personally don't, but you know, it is a work in progress thing, so it could get some major changes in the future, or be removed altogether. So it's all up in the air. You know, I'm not unhappy with it. I just don't play it as much because I don't enjoy it. But there's still time. At the moment, there are currently no plans for multiplayer, but popular demand could sway this, I suppose. It is quite a big effort to change a game from single player to multiplayer, though, because you need server hosting and stuff if you don't want it to be LAN. and a bunch of other things involving that. You have to introduce netcode and then make sure the netcode's decent. So, you know, currently he said, Steel Raven has said no multiplayer, this is designed to be a single player fun thing, but I think multiplayer would really enhance it. Because you could still play single player whenever you want, and it wouldn't feel any less valuable to me. It's just that, you know, seeing your friends running around in planes and stuff while you're on the ground firing missiles up at them or something, which would be amazing fun. So I think that's definitely worth considering. Even if it is just LAN, I don't mind. That would be great for me. So overall, and in summary, and in conclusion, and all those other things, I'm really happy with the changes that he's made. Steel Raven, it's so much. I mean, it was a good game to begin with, but now it just feels so much more complete. I mean, especially the Dust Bowl map. I think that's by far my favourite map because everything is going on. You know, you have planes, you have helicopters. The original island map is pretty much unchanged. They don't have any runways in or anything, so you can't launch planes. They've not brought in aircraft carriers either, so you definitely can't do that. It is just helicopters and tanks and jeeps and stuff. So the changes to the vehicles, as in the jeep machine guns and stuff like that, and the the heavy machine guns and the anti-air guns are all still present, but it's still got no planes in it, so it doesn't feel as complete. Of course that's by intention, but I think that it's a good map on its own, but Dust Bowl is definitely my favourite. And it is a large map as well, but it feels busier, feels a lot fuller. Now you have trenches and cave systems and sort of like, well, not tunnels, but you have like a giant arch as well, a giant stone arch, which you can actually jump over. It's not really a bridge. It's very steep, but yeah, you can actually make it over there and ambush people if you're lucky enough, or get at a good sniper position. So yeah, I would really recommend picking this game up. Currently it's on sale, which brings it around £10. And I think it's definitely worth it. Really good. I mean, for the amount of stuff he's done already, and he still says that there's more coming, so you know, who knows what could be next. Really happy with it. And I hope you will all come and check it out, because he's definitely worth the support. So if you guys liked that video, please do like the video. Dislike it if you didn't, but please let me know why, because obviously I need to know, need that info. Make sure that the channel stays supported and balanced and fair for all parties. If you have any questions or criticism, please leave them down in the comment section below. And if you would feel like supporting me on Patreon, then please head on over and do that. The details for that are also in the description. It helps keep the channel afloat and helps pay for all these games that I'm buying for you people. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next one.